Graduates from the School of General Education and Professional Studies. Graduates from the School of Health Sciences.
Good evening and welcome graduates, parents, grandparents, spouses, significant others, and guests. Our state representatives, Senator Beach, Delegate Ward, and Walker. I now convene the 2021-2022 commencement for Pierpont Community and Technical College. This is a joyful celebration for all of us and affirms the central mission and values of our community, empowering individuals to transform their lives through education. We are here to celebrate and recognize our 2022 graduating students. I call upon the Reverend Maria Wilbin to deliver the invocation.
Let us pray. O great mystery, it is our privilege to invite you here as our guest of honor on this occasion. It is our request that you would bless this graduating class, but more than that, and our first importance, we desire that you would be here with us this evening. I ask on behalf of those gathered here that you would indeed bless each of these graduates, give them the strength to make the difference for the good wherever they may find themselves in the years ahead. For those who come, who will pursue further education, grant not only the knowledge they will need in their chosen fields, but also the wisdom to apply that knowledge to life as it really is. For those who will be going directly into the workforce, give them a sense of what it is right and good and appropriate in the often confusing issues they will face. For those in military service, may they draw courage and strength from you. May they serve our country and all of humanity with integrity and honor. For all these graduates and the families of which they are a part, we ask that they may make a significant contribution to the general welfare of society. May they especially be a blessing to those whose lives they personally touch. And now may you be pleased with what is being done here this evening. Thank you for your presence. May it be so. Amen.
On behalf of the Board of Governors, alumni, faculty, staff, and I welcome each of you, parents, family members, friends, and most especially to our new graduates. This evening is a celebration of your hard work and dedication. Tonight, we greet our graduates from the graduating class of August 2021, December 2021, and May of 2022. At this time, we'd like to take a moment to recognize those who have served our country. We recognize and value your service and sacrifice you have made for our country. We thank you from the bottom of our hearts. With graduates who have family members and who have served or are currently serving, please stand and be recognized. Finally, with all veterans and those on active duty who are joining us as guests this evening, please stand and be recognized. Traditionally, academic and educational journeys are steeped in tradition, such as social preparation, critical thinking exercises, bantering with your professor, learning new skills, meeting after class for coffee, and discussing the day's assignment. However, as we begin to put words behind us, such as PPE, social distancing, and quarantine, our instructional faculty have done their best to imagine how to deliver content and skills training in a pandemic environment. A graduation ceremony is one of the most memorable and life-altering events. The commencement ceremony is an end to your academic journey and the beginning of a path forward and a future you imagine. Therefore, we must not forget the family and friends we have lost and those who have sacrificed for you to be here today. I am grateful to our institutional community for their efforts and your efforts to continue your academic journey. Those efforts does not go unrecognized. The world has indeed changed this past couple of years. For some, your transformation from Pierpont first-year student to walking across the stage has been a journey of resilience and resolve, which you have not taken alone. Your family, friends, and peers have been there alongside you. Graduates, could you please stand and recognize those mothers and grandparents, spouses, and significant others who have stood by you and thank them for helping you succeed. Turn around. Thank you. For every person burdened by inequity and inequality, being forced to hide in the shadows, inadequate health care, bias, and bigotry, this is a moment to use your education to apply the best of what you learned and felt in your heart. It is a beginning to move forward and make a difference in your community and your family, to take action, and to create a world that will be different and better. When you look around and see your community suffering, it's not tribal. All the vitriol is real, and you're trying to make sense of it all. But I ask you to be responsible, be intentional, and create a community based on the principles of we the people. Your success and those around you and your community are your community's success. Don't let others determine your destiny. Pave the path and march with conviction. This is your moment, your world to change. As I have reflected on this day, I'm reminded of my educational journey. I too am a community college graduate. I began my college experience during a personal turbulent time. I remember walking onto a college campus with only a high school education after 20 years out of high school. After being told I was not college material, I was unsure and doubtful if I could be successful in college. But with outstanding faculty and people who only wanted to see me succeed, I stand here before you today as your interim president. We never know who is put before us and guide our actions and support us. When we are most doubtful, who is there to mentor us in our most challenging times? The person who most influences us. There is nothing more internal or more powerful than the impact of others. Those of us who can look back on this time and at this moment and remember the difficulties, fear, hardship, and uncertainty can count ourselves blessed. And while we turn to our loved ones, friends, and family for support, think hard about those who impact your life is more distant, but no less meaningful. Class of 2022, the world has changed forever. You are the future of this state, this region, and this nation. So as you begin the journey, remember that you represent yourself and your family and your community. Embrace the moment, be resolute, determined, and be of the convictions, in the words of Thomas Jefferson, on matters of principle. Stand like a rock. Endeavor to be straightforward, honest, and open, and hold your leaders accountable. In many ways, these continue to be uncertain times. You will determine how to rebuild, and I ask that you make your community, your family, your priority. People are going to test your resolve. I've asked that you continue to dream. Dreams are a great test of one's ability to move forward. Dreams are a great test and a measure of our ability to be resilient. It allows us to meet our fears and move forward, no matter what obstacles are in our path. Because if we are in service of our dreams, it becomes something more extraordinary. None of us can predict what the future holds. A longtime U.S. Representative Barbour Jordan stated, "For all of its uncertainty, we cannot flee the future, nor do we want to. Your future is filled with promise, and you are the author of your life's journey." And so as we proceed through our ceremony today, I urge you to reflect on this moment and the meaning of the commencement of the ritual and enjoy this memorable day. You have met the challenge. You have persevered, and you will do great things. Today's ceremony holds honor those who have achieved the Pierpont level of excellence and have demonstrated what we mean Pierpont strong. Thank you. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce you to those who are joining us today on this platform. I'd like to first recognize our outstanding faculty seated among us on the platform this evening. Their hard work and devotion to our student success is evident in this commencement ceremony this evening. Representing academic affairs this evening are our academic deans, Dr. Carrie Coffendaffer, the Dean of School of Business, Aviation, and Technology, Mr. David Bailey, Dean of School of General Education and Professional Studies, and Ms. Amy Cunningham, Dean of Health Sciences. Our academic deans lead our talented faculty in the delivery of quality instruction for our students. Joining them this evening are members of the President Executive Leadership Team, Mr. Dale Bradley, our Vice President of Finance and Administration, Mr. George Perrick, our Director of Human Resources and Organizational Development, and Dr. Michael Paul Wade, our Provost and Vice President of Academic Affairs. Representing our staff this evening is Miss Mary Jo Rutherford, and the President of our Classified Staff, and Dr. Susan Coffendaffer, the President of our Faculty Senate. Among us tonight are our honored guests, the Reverend Maria Wilbin, Mr. David Hinkle, Chair of Pierpont Board of Governors, and the Honorable Senator Craig Blair, our commencement speaker. In the course of this academic year, Pierpont bade farewell to an iconic leader in West Virginia. Dr. Paul Wade, who was instrumental in the development, Dr. Paul Edwards, who was instrumental in the development of Pierpont Community and Technical College. This evening, Dr. Michael Wade, Pierpont's Provost and Chief Academic Officer, who will offer remarks to commiserate Dr. Edwards' tireless effort, advocacy, and support of Pierpont. Dr. Wade.
In the 1970s, Dr. Paul Edwards envisioned a community college to meet students where they were, offering them access to an affordable education and preparing them for gainful employment into West Virginia's workforce. In 1974, Dr. Edwards was instrumental in establishing a community college, later to become Pierpont Community and Technical College. Throughout his career, Dr. Edwards left an indelible mark on the students he instructed and on the academic community, which was fortunate enough to have known him. Dr. Paul Edwards died on August 20th, 2021, but his legacy in community college higher education continues. And so tonight, we are honored with the presence of Dr. Edwards' granddaughter, Raina, his family and friends. From the early days of his commitment to community college higher education to the embodiment of quality teaching and the enrichment of students, Pierpont Community and Technical College continues to meet students where they are, preparing and equipping them for entry into our workforce. With a solitary white rose near the symbol of our academy, the academic mace, in this moment of silence, we express our gratitude and we remember Dr. Paul E. Edwards, the father of our community college. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Wade. Pierpont Community and Technical College is guided by a Board of Governors. These representatives dedicate hours of service and expertise without any compensation other than personal reward of supporting the success of our community college. The board has been very supportive and committed to the success of our community college students. I wish to take this moment to thank our dedicated Board of Governors. At this time, I am pleased to introduce Mr. David Hinkle, who will offer a message on behalf of the Pierpont Community and Technical College Board of Governors. Mr. Hinkle serves as chair of Pierpont Community and Technical College Board of Governors, and he has been a member of the Board of Governors since 2021. This evening, Mr. Hinkle will bring greetings to you.
Thank you, Dr. Hancock. It's with great pleasure to welcome the students, families, faculty to Pierpont Community Technology graduation. This day is about you, about what you have achieved through hard work, determination, and moments of inspiration. You are more resilient and empowered to apply skills and knowledge that you have gained to build a rewarding and fulfilling life. Strive to continue to learn in new ways, seek and find new ways to turn this knowledge that you have gained into action, and turn action into change that will improve your lives and your community. As you depart tonight, I would like to leave you with a quote from a musician, singer, songwriter who passed away in 1993. Many of you probably won't recognize him, but his name was Frank Zappa. Quote from Frank Zappa is, "Without deviation from the norm, progress is not possible." And I want you all to think about that. Without deviation from the norm, progress is not possible. You all show that you deviated from the norm and made progress possible. So with that in mind, remember, you did deviate from the norm and progress awaits you. And never accept the norm, always deviate from the norm, and you will be very successful in life. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman Hinkle. I would like to also thank my executive cabinet of our academic deans and our outstanding faculty and Pierpont staff for the commitment, time, and dedication they have given to help this moment become a reality. This evening, we are honored to hear from one of Pierpont's scholars, a student chosen by the academic deans to deliver remarks and represent the voice of the Pierpont student. I invite Ms. Pam Hamilton, Director of Pierpont's Nutrition and Dietetics Program, to introduce our student speaker.
Tonight, it gives me great pleasure to introduce one of Pierpont's 2022 graduating seniors. Cameron Michelle Zerbs from Elkins, West Virginia, is graduating with her Associate of Applied Science in Food Service Management, specializing in the Nutrition and Dietetic Technology concentration. This brand new program, accredited by the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics in 2019, is the first and only associate degree dietetic program in the state. Cameron will be one of the first two graduates completing this program, earning verification to sit for the certification exam to become a nutrition and dietetic technician registered. I want to share the following thoughts from Brooke Nissim-Sabat, former faculty member at Pierpont, who is currently serving as dietetic internship director at Virginia Commonwealth University in Richmond. Brooke was Cameron's initial program advisor and provided me with the following observations about her. I loved getting to know Cameron as she began her schooling with us. She is so clever and was a joy both to teach and to work with. Her work always impressed me as she is very perceptive, open to new ideas, and often found details in the content that were well beyond the early stages of her career. I'm proud to have been part of her education, and I'm glad to have crossed paths with her during our shared time at Pierpont. At first glance, you will likely see Cameron as a traditional college student. I believe that she will be able to change your mind, however, as she shares part of the journey that led her to this milestone in her life, and her advice to each of you as you move forward with your own goals, proudly supported by your professional degrees and certifications from Pierpont Community and Technical College. Please join me in welcoming Cameron Michelle Zerbs.
Thank you. My name is Cameron Zerbs, and it is my pleasure to welcome students, family, and faculty to graduation for Pierpont Community and Technical College. After being asked to speak on this very exciting day, I began searching the internet for famous quotes about success, trying to find the one that really suited me and just really stuck out. One quote in particular that I found matched what I had been wanting to convey. It was Winston Churchill who said, "Success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts." We all followed different paths to get here today. For some of you, it may have been easy. You may have known exactly what you wanted to do and made it happen. But I know for many of us, including myself, we had to fail once, and then twice, and then maybe 3 times before we made it here today. In 2017, when I graduated high school, I strived to be the student that knew what they wanted and went for it. I began my first semester of college at a big school, determined to finish with that degree that I picked in high school. With no surprise, I grew very unhappy with the lifestyle that just didn't suit me. I put my mental health on the back burner, and I started to feel like a failure. I started to lose all confidence in myself, and I really didn't see any way forward. But luckily, I have a wonderful family and some really great friends that pushed me to just do whatever made me happy. And so instead of finishing school, I packed up my little 2-door 2001 Jeep Wrangler with as many of my belongings as I could, and I took off across the country to Tucson, Arizona, where I could take the time I needed all by myself to decide what I wanted to do with school and my life. For the first time, I was all by myself, and this brought responsibilities that I was not ready for. One of those being feeding myself. But through research on my specific nutrition needs and my mom's amazing cooking lessons, I made it. It's funny how important this life skill would ultimately be in leading me to this stage tonight, actually. After a year of this independence and an ongoing pandemic, I made the decision to move back home to West Virginia in 2020. I knew that I was finally ready to go back to school, but where would I go? What would I study? My mom suggested that I take a look at what Pierpont had to offer, and wouldn't you know it, I found something that I was actually interested in. The thing that kept me going on my desert journey, nutrition. After my Tucson experience and many other bumps in the road, I realized that failure won't kill you if you don't let it. My failed experiences gave me the courage and strength to push forward, try again, and finally succeed. And that's why Winston Churchill's quote resonated with me. Remember, success is not final, failure is not fatal, it's the courage to continue that counts. Don't let any failures stand in your way. Let them teach you what not to do and continue on. 2 years ago, I had no idea what I was getting into in attending Pierpont. I knew about the college's great reputation, but had no idea how much it would truly change my life. Today, as your commencement speaker and one of the first two graduates from our nutrition and dietetic program, I'm here to tell you to always go for it. Go for that second try at college, go for that cross-country move, go for what's gonna make you happy, and always believe in yourself, just as so many sitting here today, our moms, our dads, grandparents, siblings, loved ones, friends, believed in us. I'd like to take just a minute to acknowledge a couple people. Pam, of course, and Brooke, who Pam mentioned, they were with me from step one till right now. The Chef Natalie and Chef Sarah holding it down as the women in the kitchen. I probably wouldn't have gotten through some of my courses without you guys, so. And then of course, Chef Jay, who could not be here tonight, and Chef Tony. I know that I am a professional button pusher, but you guys did well with me and I appreciate it. I believe that you can achieve whatever you want in life. Never stop trying, never stop learning, live life to the fullest, and give it nothing but your best. Thank you.
That was awesome. Love that quote. Thank you. It is my great pleasure to introduce you to our commencement speaker, the Lieutenant Governor of the state of West Virginia and Senate President, the Honorable Senator Craig P. Blair. Senator Blair is a lifelong resident of the Eastern Panhandle. He was raised in the Christian faith and values by his parents, Freddie and Janetta Blair, on the family's orchard, which produced and packaged apples and peaches for domestic and export distribution. Senator Blair is a graduate of Hedgeville High School and James Ramsey Technical Institute. He is married to Andrea Blair, and Senator Blair is the father of Philip and Senator Blair, I hope I get this right, Saria, and the proud grandfather of Kate and Philip Blair. Senator Blair soon became frustrated with state government, and he was elected to the West Virginia House of Delegates in 2002, where he served for two-year terms. Senator Blair was elected to the Senate in 2012 and re-elected in 2016 and 2020. In the Senate, Senator Blair served as the House Minority Whip, chair of the Committee on Government Organizations, and chair of the Committee on Finance. His Senate colleagues elected him as Senate President in 2021. Senator Blair is an ardent supporter of common sense government reforms that focus on effectiveness and efficiencies. During his legislative service, he has been fighting for tax reform and relief for West Virginia taxpayers and business. Senator Blair affiliation includes the National Rifle Association, West Virginia Citizens Defense League, and the Eastern Panhandle Business Association. Please welcome Senator Craig P. Blair.
What an honor to be here. I'm not going to be like the most normal speakers. I'm a little bit on the wild side. So first of all, parents, grandparents, faculty, and students. Isn't West Virginia the best place in the whole world? I listened to when he said the Eastern Panhandle, a lifelong resident of the Eastern Panhandle. I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm a lifelong resident of West Virginia. My daughter's name is Sarah, and she's one of my claim to fames. Her mother gave her the spelling of that name, but Sarah Blair is the youngest person ever elected to a legislature in the United States in America's history. And so she grew up good in spite of me. And I'm getting off script here a little bit, but so be it. Hey, look, my message is supposed to be inspirational tonight, and especially to the students. That's what I'm hoping to do. I'm going to get ready and tell a few stories about myself. I'm not quite sure why they invited me down to be your keynote speaker tonight, but I have a feeling it's because of my background. And my background is rather interesting. And again, I don't like talking about myself a whole lot, but I think in this case, it might be worth it. And especially those that struggle. I barely made it out of high school. I struggled to get out of high school. A lot of it was my own doing. But what I wanted to do was learn to be an electrician. I grew up on a farm, and I wanted to be able to use my hands and do things with my hands. I learned with my hands. I couldn't sit down with a book and do that at that point in time. So I went to a vocational school and became a master electrician. I'm very proud of that, but it didn't stop there. The learning experience never stopped. I've become a master plumber, a master electrician, a refrigeration engineer. Everybody's seen the ice on the airplane that's got a hole in the center of it? I helped redesign that ice so that instead of being a maxi cube, it was a mini cube specifically for being on airplanes. I've had many experiences in life of learning how to weld. I went to school for that, of machine trades, 2 years of that at James Rumsey. There's a whole host of them. Electronics. I've designed electronic circuits before, written software. And it's always because there was a need or a demand for something. I'm a Class 5 certified water specialist. I never dreamed in a million years that I'd be a plumber. But if you get the message that I'm getting here, or getting to, is I never quit learning. I would encourage you students, tonight's not the end of the road, it's just the beginning of your learning experience. Don't quit. The more you learn, the more valuable you are. And the more valuable you are, the more of this that you'll have in your pocket. By the way, that wasn't scripted either. I just realized I had a little bit of money in my pocket. That's uncommon. So now let's get ready and move from that. And by the way, I've lived in a house trailer 3 times in my life, the same house trailer. I'd like to write a little bit of book to tell the story on that. But don't take your place in life and believe that that is where you belong. It's not the case. You determine where you will belong. I've had people tell me, including my parents, that I wasn't good enough, that I wouldn't succeed, that I would fail. And in my case, it drove me to succeeding. It drove me to believing that I could do anything. It foolishly drove me to the point that I believed that if I ran for the House of Delegates in the legislature, whenever I talked to these guys, it was like looking at deer in the headlights. And I was like, they're not solving the problems that we have in West Virginia. They are part of the problem in West Virginia. And I decided that I was going to throw my hat in the ring and try to do my best at doing it. Little did I ever dream that I'd be in the role as the lieutenant governor and the Senate president, leading the renewed rebuilding of our state, of great state of West Virginia. Each and every one of you have ideas how to do things better, do things different, how to fix the world that's around you. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't. You're sitting here tonight because you can. You're going to be coming over here and going home with, I'm hoping, the beginning of a successful career, full of opportunities, full of more learning experiences, but you're going to continue to make mistakes. You're going to continue to have failures. And if you're sharp, you'll learn from each and every one of those mistakes and failures. I'll give you another piece of advice coming from a 62-year-old man that thinks he's 12 years old on the inside. Have friends of all ages. I've got a friend right now, he's 5 years old, and I've got a friend that is 90 years old, and all in between, all makes, shapes, sizes. It doesn't make any difference. You know what? There's something to be learned from everybody out there. Everybody, including the smallest. And they can teach you how to love more than anything. Your parents, your grandparents, your friends, and your family are in this audience tonight. I imagine most of you are going to go out to have dinner afterwards and celebrate your successes. Watch their faces as you're celebrating tonight. Look at the love. Look at the hope and the aspirations that live through you. You're going to be in their shoes one day, if you're lucky. There's another thing I would encourage you to do. Fall in love, be in love, work hard at love, feel the joys of it, have children. Give yourself the same experience that you're giving to your parents and your grandparents tonight and what you've done to this point. And I'm quite sure many of you out here have given them a lot of grief. I know I did. But the fact is, these moments in life are pivotal. They're not make or break that. And most of the times, they are the beginning. I'm going to offer up another piece of advice too. Give back. It's not all about you. Sharing and giving is far better than receiving. You don't believe me? When you're at dinner tonight, ask them. Ask the people that have been there and done it. There is a reward that is like none other. Certainly, I like receiving a gift and accolades and all that stuff. You know what feels better? Giving help, wisdom, sharing my life, sharing my resources with somebody in need. It's what makes us West Virginians, ladies and gentlemen. You can drive down this road, and if we seen somebody out there with a flat tire or in distress, we would stop and we help those people. That's West Virginia. Our future is bright and getting brighter every day. Job opportunities, students, are like none ever before. I'm personally exposed to over $30 billion of potential, more than likely, investment coming to our great state. North Central West Virginia is growing. It's expanding. The future is so bright, and you are going to be the people that are going to lead the way. And for those in health sciences, you may be taking care of my crippled butt when I'm laying in the nursing home or in the hospital. Please don't forget my bald head. Be nice to me. Good things are happening. Believe in yourself. You believe in yourself, everybody else will believe in you as well. I'll close with this remark. It's from Benjamin Franklin, who's my hero, by the way, because he had a multitude of skill sets. Get a few minutes, go read about Benjamin Franklin. He hangs up in the Senate President's office. I put him in there for a picture. But well done is always better than well said. Good luck, students.
See, that's why we had Senator Blair invited him to come up, because we knew he was going to be. He's a rock star in the state of West Virginia. Thank you, Senator. I now call upon Dr. Michael Paul Wade, Provost and Vice President of Pierpont Community and Technical College, to present the candidates for Certificate of Associate Degrees. Dr. Wade.
Candidates for the Certificates in Applied Science degree, the Associate in Arts degree, and the Associate in Applied Science degree from the School of Business, Aviation and Technology, the School of General Education and Professional Studies, and the School of Health Sciences, please stand. President Hancock, I present to you the candidates for the Certificate in Applied Science, Associate in Arts, and the Associate in Applied Science degrees from the School of Business, Aviation and Technology, the School of General Education and Professional Studies, and the School of Health Sciences. These candidates have completed the curriculum prescribed for their degrees by Pierpont Community and Technical College. They have been recommended by the faculty, commended by the academic deans and the provost, and are approved by the Office of the Registrar. I present them to you that you may confer upon them the Certificate in Applied Science, the Associate in Arts, and the Associate in Applied Science degree.
Candidates. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Governors and Pierpont Community and Technical College, I hereby confer upon you the Certificate of Applied Science, the Associates in Arts, and the Associates in Applied Science degree, and admit you to the rights, privileges, and prerogatives pertaining thereto. You may now change your tassel.
Graduates, you may be seated. And as you are seated, Dr. Hancock, Mr. George Perrick, and Dean Dr. Carrie Coffendaffer, and the chair of our board, David Hinkle, will prepare to meet you at the diploma table. To the graduates from the School of Business, Aviation, and Technology, please come forward to be greeted by President Hancock, Dean Carrie Coffendaffer, and Mr. David Hinkle of the Pierpont Community and Technical College Board of Governors. Get that ready. They're deciding who wants to be first. Tyler Gifford, Associate of Applied Science. Danny Kimball, Associate of Applied Science. Devin Lamarne, Associate of Applied Science. Ariel Brooke Mallow, Associate of Applied Science. Isabella Donley, Associate of Applied Science and Certificate in Applied Science. Jacob Barrows, Associate of Applied Science. Jared Barrows, Associate of Applied Science. Ryan Prevat, Associate of Applied Science. Joel McCauley, Associate of Applied Science. Mark Keener, Associate of Applied Science with honors. Addison Hayes, Associate of Applied Science. Gabriel Carr, Associate of Applied Science. Seth Strader, Associate of Applied Science. Presenting his degree is Pierpont's Executive Director of E-Learning and his mother, Dr. Robin Strader. Colt Tyler Smith, Associate of Applied Science. Brad Ash, Associate of Applied Science with honors. Dawson Lee Carpenter, Associate of Applied Science with honors. Tyler Chisler, Associate of Applied Science with honors. Philip Zachary Cook, Associate of Applied Science. Dalton Earhart, Associate of Applied Science. Benjamin R. Fox, Associate of Applied Science. Alec J. Horner, Associate of Applied Science with honors. Tyler McClanahan, Associate of Applied Science. Brian Moneypenny, Associate of Applied Science with honors. Blaine Moore, Associate of Applied Science. Seth Mazingo, Associate of Applied Science. Elias G. Stam, Associate of Applied Science. Hannah Grove, Associate of Applied Science with honors. Paige Leonard, Associate of Applied Science with honors. Faith McDivitt, Associate of Applied Science with honors. Savannah Swinsky, Associate of Applied Science with honors. Emilith Jade Weiss, Associate of Applied Science with honors. Christian Wisniewski, Associate of Applied Science. Lily Moramano, Associate of Applied Science. Amos Jones, Associate of Applied Science with honors. Jonathan Green, Associate of Applied Science. Duncan Flint, Associate of Applied Science. Jeffrey Wayne Flint, Associate of Applied Science. Ethan Kelly, Associate of Applied Science with honors. Stetson Sanders, Associate of Applied Science with honors. Nathan Stewart, Associate of Applied Science with honors. Again. Matthew Slavinsky, Associate of Applied Science. Shauna Haycox, Associate of Applied Science with honors. Tanner Hardman, Associate of Applied Science. Madison Summers, Associate of Applied Science with honors. Season Sigley, Associate of Applied Science with honors. Megan Hoffman, Associate of Applied Science. Lynn Callahan, Associate of Applied Science with honors. Zachary Marshall Summers, Associate of Applied Science with honors. Michael Tennant, Associate of Applied Science. Samuel James Walker, Associate of Applied Science with honors. Abby Weaver, Associate of Applied Science. Janiyah Williams, Associate of Applied Science. Alexis Allen, Associate of Applied Science with honors. Tiana Arch, Associate of Applied Science with honors. Colton Hovermail, Associate of Applied Science. Logan Ledoux, Associate of Applied Science. Ethan Morgan, Associate of Applied Science. Aaron Matthew Payne, Associate of Applied Science. Peyton Taylor, Associate of Applied Science. Chad Michael Ward, Associate of Applied Science with honors. Will the graduates from the School of General Education and Professional Studies please stand? Graduates, please come forward to be greeted by President Hancock, Dean David Bailey, and Mr. David Hinkle of the Pierpont Community and Technical College Board of Governors. Hope Marie Ellison, Associate of Applied Science with honors. Carrie Beth Stump, Associate of Applied Science with honors. Caitlin Brooke Waddell, Associate of Applied Science. Eduardi Liriano, Associate of Applied Science. Isabelle Perrier, Associate of Applied Science. Tanya Vanessa Rivers, Associate of Applied Science. Olivia Lynn Barrett, Associate of Applied Science with honors, presented her degree by her mother, Professor Lori Barrett, Director of the Early Childhood Education Program. Becca Cummings, Associate of Applied Science. Kayla Marie Hockenberry presented her degree by her sister, Executive Assistant to the President and Board of Governors, Ms. Amanda Hockenberry. Ashley Knox, Associate of Applied Science. Creed Joseph Neville, Associate of Applied Science with honors. Macy Clayton, Associate of Applied Science with honors. Reagan Clemens, Associate of Applied Science with honors. Morgan Gaskell, Associate of Applied Science with honors. Savannah Marie Posey, Associate of Applied Science. Summer West, Associate of Applied Science. Kyle Artery, Associate of Applied Science. Hannah Curry, Associate of Applied Science with honors. Michaela Frame, Associate of Applied Science. Madison Hess, Associate of Applied Science with honors. Megan Lahassett, Associate of Applied Science. Alexander Loper, Associate of Applied Science. Casey Mankin, Associate of Applied Science with honors. Kirsten Matthews, Associate of Applied Science. David Means, Associate of Applied Science. Emma Slagle, Associate of Applied Science. David Ty, Associate of Applied Science. Miranda Williams, Associate of Applied Science. Olivia Woodnicki, Associate of Applied Science. Hannah Wonders, Associate of Applied Science with honors. Cameron Zerbs, Associate of Applied Science. Larry Arbogast, Associate of Arts. Isabel Gleason Moore, Associate of Arts. Brittany Renee Jefferson, Associate of Arts. Will the graduates from the School of Health Sciences please stand? Graduates, please come forward to be greeted by President Hancock, Dean Amy Cunningham, and Mr. David Hinkle of the Pierpont Community and Technical College Board of Governors. Jamie Butcher Hamrick, Certificate of Applied Science. Destiny Burgoyne, Certificate of Applied Science. Cynthia Roop Patrick, Associate of Applied Science. Nicole Parks, Associate of Applied Science. Haley Hedrick, Associate of Applied Science with honors. Shonda Plaza, Associate of Applied Science and Certificate of Applied Science. Kirsten Palmer, Associate of Applied Science. Taylor Elise Madison Moran, Associate of Applied Science. Brittany Nicole Markovich, Associate of Applied Science. Janet Lance, Associate of Applied Science, Certificate in Applied Science. Cassandra Rose Johnson, Associate of Applied Science with honors. Emma Dowdy, Associate of Applied Science. Daniel Nesland, Associate of Applied Science. Allison Lehman, Associate of Applied Science. Danny Brooke Williams, Certificate in Applied Science. Valerie West, Certificate in Applied Science with honors. Ryan Thompson, Certificate in Applied Science with honors. Mariah Taylor Thompson, Certificate in Applied Science in Licensed Practical Nursing and another Certificate in Applied Science in Laboratory Assistant with honors. Ashley Marie Shahan, Certificate in Applied Science. Jacob Kittle, Certificate in Applied Science. Autumn Heinzman, Certificate in Applied Science. Nicole Friels, Certificate in Applied Science. Corey Edge, Certificate in Applied Science. Jenna Carlene Dallison, Certificate in Applied Science. Hannah Legates, Associate of Applied Science with honors.
Let's go, baby!
Kobe K. McCartney, Associate of Applied Science. Samira Sater, Associate of Applied Science with honors. Haley Thomas, Associate of Applied Science. Jamie West, Associate of Applied Science with honors. Jacqueline Nicole White, Associate of Applied Science with honors. Samantha Cochran, Associate of Applied Science. Amy Fincham Teeter, Associate of Applied Science. Cordell Lesher, Associate of Applied Science. Nicole Morrill, Associate of Applied Science with honors. Zoe Tyree, Associate of Applied Science with honors. Marguerite Runner, Associate of Applied Science. Samantha Lee Barnhart, Associate of Applied Science with honors. Ashley Coffey, Associate of Applied Science with honors. Morgan Johnson, Associate of Applied Science. Savannah Kimball, Associate of Applied Science. Hannah Portzer, Certificate of Applied Science. Abigail Stillwell, Associate of Applied Science with honors. Courtney Williams, Associate of Applied Science with honors. Kaylee Madison Brandon, Associate of Applied Science with honors. Haley Kale, Associate of Applied Science. Kristen Gerard, Associate of Applied Science with honors. Taylor Hamrick, Associate of Applied Science. Tori Marie Jackson, Associate of Applied Science.
Let's give our graduates another round of applause, please. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That's your support system. Isn't it wonderful and beautiful? To all of our degree recipients today, you have worked hard in and outside the classroom. Many of you have gained valuable work-related experience via internships, and I congratulate you on a job well done. As of today, you and your family members are members of the Pierpont family, and we hope you will remain connected to this outstanding institution as alum. Congratulations and best wishes for good health and great happiness and future success. Before we end this celebration of new beginnings, there are several groups of people who should be recognized and thanked, as I always do when I stand on stage, because I know the sacrifice, the hard work and dedication, to hang in there with you, to argue with you, to be there with you, to love you and support you and finance and provide finance to your education. And again, from my heartfelt thanks to all the family members of the graduates. Without you, they wouldn't be sitting here today. So thank you. These are times of significant challenges and threat to our democracy and our state. We are entering a new era of change. You have the choice to do better than the generation before you. In doing so, you should not be governed by the lack of determination or failure of the vision of those who have come before you. You need not be burdened by the assumptions of previous generations. A crisis provides the opportunity to think anew. The obligation to act to restore leadership at every level of American society is an opportunity too valuable to be missed. We, with a deep sense of humility about our accomplishments and a new appreciations of our ideals and strengths, and a reinvigorated commitment to public good, I commend the graduates of 2022 to the task ahead. Remember today that you received these diplomas from an institution with a history of discovery, service, and educating great leaders. You are the thought leaders in Pierpont's tradition. Members of the class of 2022, this world is yours to make better. And if you do, you'll find your path to fulfillment and happiness. In doing so, you will set an example and inspire our state of West Virginia, our country, and the world. This is your moment, your world to shape. We are incredibly proud of those who have done what you have done, and even more of whom you will soon become. And I know that we are in good hands. Godspeed, graduates, and may you all fare well on your journey ahead. Good luck, and again, congratulations. We are Pierpont Strong. Our ceremony today will conclude at the recessional. Please remain in your seats until the platform members, faculty, and students have finished participating in the recessional. Following the ceremony, we trust that you will be able to stay and join us for the reception at the shop's family ballroom. Graduates, you may now toss your hats. Okay, are we going this way, Amanda? Yeah. That way. That way? George? Mr. Hinkle?